Hey everybody, it's Nate from Adventure in a Backpack. We are proud to bring you our second episode of Hashtag Know Your Brand. Hashtag Know Your Brand is all about the outdoor and adventure companies who are doing their part to reduce waste and promote a clean earth through their manufacturing and distribution process.
We are quickly learning that each and every company has their very own spin on how they view conservation, much like how every person enjoys the outdoors in their own special way. Some companies strive to have a zero-waste facility to promote conservation and sustainability. On the other hand, Episode 2 talks about a company who has the viewpoint that a sustainable culture is the first step in effective conservation.
We had a chance to meet with Sherpa Adventure Gear at PCT Days in Cascade Locks, Oregon. When we initially contacted Sherpa Adventure Gear, we were under the assumption that they were based out of Seattle, Washington, and boy, were we pleasantly mistaken. Their U.S. offices are indeed in Seattle, but the real magic happens where the roots hold fast, a whole nother world away, Nepal.
Our founder, his name's Tashi Sherpa, and he wanted to do something good for the people of his country and also the Sherpa people in this kind of mountaineering industry, and it's hard in these small remote villages to make a living. So he was trying to think of different ways to help support that, and he founded Sherpa Adventure Gear kind of in his garage. He used to sell hats and fleeces and just kind of simple stuff in the garage, but over the years has built this business kind of going back and forth to Nepal, trying to figure out ways to kind of create sustainable jobs that people can do over there that kind of have a strong connection to something good.
Now let's back up just a bit. I know that we all get a warm fuzzy feeling when we see a Made in America tag. You won't find that with Sherpa Adventure Gear, and here's why you should be okay with that.
The word Sherpa is literally translated into Eastern people, and they're an ethnic group from the most mountainous region of the Himalayas. The Sherpa people make up the biggest majority of the guides on Mount Everest and many of the other highest peaks in the world. This lifestyle is incredibly demanding on their bodies and often leaves them with few options for work after they are unfit to guide these great peaks.
The guides on the mountains are primarily the men of the villages. This puts the wives in the villages in a bit of a tough situation while their husbands are away. Being an agricultural community, the women must take care of the numerous chores around their house and the community and still find a way to bring in some income. Enter Sherpa Adventure Gear.
These jobs are really taxing on people's bodies, for sure. You can only do so many trips on Everest your whole life, so there's partly that just to have a future for people who have been in that, working as a Sherpa in the mountains, but also their families. They are usually from and based out of these small remote villages in the Himalayas, and so it's a very agricultural society, but even in the high elevations, just providing a little source of extra income for women and to support their families and who are maybe not out working in the mountains. So there's that, and then throughout over time we've been really learning that, especially with women, these kind of knitting co-ops have been something that just have taken off with us, and it's great because they can work in these places that are not maybe right in Kathmandu where all the kind of more traditional jobs are, and they can work in clusters or out of their homes, be able to take care of their children while they're working. So it kind of creates this really great source of income for people who are in the smaller remote areas.
When you buy, say, a knitted hat or a knitted sweater from Sherpa Adventure Gear, you are indirectly employing a person in a small remote village at a fair wage with a good working condition who would otherwise not have much of a job opportunity or would have to work in subpar working conditions. So far, due to the increased popularity of the knitted goods, Sherpa Adventure Gear has been able to employ 1,500 people who otherwise may not have had an opportunity like this. I don't know about you, that makes me feel good to the core. A sustainable culture is the first step in effective conservation.
So another big portion of Sherpa Adventure Gear is a small amount of money for everything we sell goes into our education fund. And we have, throughout the years, put 26 kids from elementary school through college, or some of them are still in an elementary school. But the idea is that they get room, board, tutors, computer use, kind of anything they'll need to get a good education. And a lot of them come from areas outside of Kathmandu, and they're staying in boarding situations and going to school there. And we're hoping, just again with that program, as we grow, we'll have more and more kids hopefully going through that program and being able to kind of empower them to, we get feedback from them a lot about what do you want to be when you grow up, and it's cool to just hear, I want to be a doctor, social worker, or one of them wants to be a pro soccer player, but just all these different things.
I'll admit, sometimes I naively forget that there are a lot of places in the world that are not privileged enough to be able to send school-aged children to school. Only the upper class is afforded that luxury. A portion of every sale from Sherpa Adventure Gear goes into a fund that sends children from Nepal through school. This is really great. Educating a person is conservation.
Lastly, I don't want you to think that Sherpa Adventure Gear is neglecting reducing their production waste or that they're not doing any traditional conservation efforts. Everything we've talked about so far is what sets Sherpa Adventure Gear apart. Here's a quick overview of the things that they are doing to reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Sherpa Adventure Gear's garments are certified through Blue Sign, which works to promote sustainability and make textile production more environmentally friendly.
Printed scarves are printed in Nepal with vegetable ink.
Natural fibers are used when appropriate.
Scrap pieces of fabric are upcycled to make different pieces of gear.
Scrap pieces of yarn are reused to make more hats and sweaters. The hats made from scrap yarn are actually the most popular sellers. That's pretty awesome.
They utilize knitting groups and allow women to knit at home while taking care of their children and decreasing the need for product to be made in factories.
Sherpa Adventure Gear has just recently grown to a size where they've been able to hire a sustainability manager. So things are only going to get better from here. We can't wait to see where this goes.
We wish we could have shown you the villages where these products were made, but this time around we're unable to visit Nepal. Maybe next time. Ultimately, Sherpa Adventure Gear is a really cool company who is definitely making strides to reduce their negative impact on Earth. Thanks for watching, and we are happy you now know your brand.